This is an old valve for a main shutoff in our house. This has been not shutting off properly. Right now you're seeing a little drip here. Ignore that because I just broke this loose. But the valve wasn't shutting off properly. I'd shut it all the way off and it still dripped through. So the washer and the seat or the seat is bad in there. So I want to show you how to deal with this. First we take off or loosen this packing nut right here, which is right around the stem here. And we're going to back out the valve. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we had the water shut off at the street. So now the water is completely shut off from the water company. So this is the time to fix this. You cannot fix this valve unless you have the water shut off outside at the street from the water company. So the next thing to do is on this valve, this is an old valve. It's got this bonnet right here. I broke this loose here. So I'm going to take that out. Okay. Now we're going to get some water pressure here just because the pipe, like we're 3 feet below the ground right here. So the water is going to have to drip out of here. And we're going to catch it in this little bucket here. Okay, that's about all the water that came out of there. Here, you can see, is our washer and our washer screw. Look at how damaged that washer is. It's hard and it's got some material that's eaten off of it. We're going to replace this. Okay. There's the washer screw. I'm going to dig this old hard washer out of here and we're going to see if we have one to replace it. So we're going to pop that out of there like this. Make sure the brass area is clean and let's see if we can find a washer. Alright, I'm looking at my universal washer kit here and nothing looks this big. I mean, none of these are going to match. I've got a beveled washer kit too, and none of those are big enough. So I think this is going to be a trip out to the hardware store. Yeah, even this one, there's just nothing that large in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stem and the old washer down to the hardware store, and let's see what we can come up with. All right, there she is. Let's head down to the hardware store and see what we can find here. Now, one option is just to go to like a home center and try to find a washer kit that has these larger size washers in it. That's not a bad option, and most of you that's going to work. I happen to be at an old style hardware store. I'm just going to give them this stem and they're going to go in the back and find one and get me all set up. Okay, here's Doug. Doug is going to help me out. He's going to try to find a washer for that. I'm at Overland Hardware. It's a great old hardware store. If you guys are around here, you need to try it. Let's get the rest of it. All right, Doug's back. New washer. How much is this, Doug?
It is 79 cents plus tax.
79 cents plus tax. See, easy fix. This is a great hardware store in Overland, Missouri. If you're around here, you know, take a look, see what they can do. All right, let's head back to the house. Okay, we're back at the house and just show you something real quick. We had the water company come shut the water off for us because the valve was buried in the ground, and it's even still buried even after they dug it out. But if your valve or your pipe with the shut off has a lid, nice lid on it, you can just move that lid aside and you can get a street key with a long handle and you can shut the valve off. Just give you a little tip, if the street key has a handle, it's going to be in the off position if it's going across the pipe. So right, the pipe runs, see the blue line? The pipe runs to the house. Okay, so if you stick the key in, it should go in this way, running parallel with the pipe, and then you should rotate it 90 degrees and that's off. So we had the water company do that for us because of the damage here to this head on the shutoff. So they're going to come tomorrow and turn that back on. Right now we're going to go install this. Okay, before I put this back in, I want to talk to you a little bit about the pieces here. This has this part that screws onto the valve body like this, right? We talked about that. A lot of newer valves don't have that. You just take this packing nut off right here. See if I can get that to focus. There we go. Take the packing nut off right here and the whole stem will come out. But you can see this stem is too fat to fit through here. So they have this different bonnet right here. But the point is inside this packing nut, if you could look in that slot, which is hard to see, but there's a little bit of packing inside there. Packing is basically, it used to be just string with grease on it basically, and you'd wrap it around. I think they use something a little more sophisticated now, but it's still the same process. It looks like a little piece of string you can buy packing at a home center. You just wrap it in there with a few layers, and then as you tighten this nut, it compresses it, and since it has grease on it, it keeps the water from shooting out on the stem when the valve's open. So just wanted to kind of cover that with you. Ours was not leaking there, so I don't think we need new packing. All right, so we're gonna rethread this, and you want to make sure that the valve is unscrewed so that this will tighten all the way and not hit against the washer and make you think it's tight when it's really not. I'm gonna snug this up. And these have brass seats to where they mate together, and you don't need anything on the threads on this, just so you know. All right, since I don't have a cameraman today, I had to put that down to really tighten that up. Okay, now we're going to tighten the packing nut. Same here. I like to screw it in halfway so it's not all the way in, it's not all the way out. We're just going to let the packing tighten or snug in around the shaft on the handle. Or actually the stem shaft, I guess, is really what it is. Okay. Alrighty. Now, once we shut this off, the water should shut off for me instead of dribble out the pipe constantly while I'm working. So that was a good improvement. Now we're good to go for another 30 years probably. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like this if this was helpful for you, and spread the word. Take care.